What's up, guys? Joe Rachel here, Tint Academy. Tint Academy at learnhowtotintcarwindows.com. Suppose I shouldn't say those two things together because they are not in the same URL. But so it's Tint Academy, and the location is learnhowtotintcarwindows.com. Coming at you here with a little video. Jay was. I'm trying to see if he's on and if he wants to come on here. He hasn't responded yet, but I got a Genesis G80 here that I'm going to work on and maybe shoot the breeze on a few things, see if anybody has any stuff they want to talk about or any questions or any good stuff like that. Yeah, so I was blessed here with a bunch of cars from the Boucher, Hyundai, actually Genesis now. Genesis broke away. Some of you may know. I got a bunch of work from the new Genesis dealer. So they used to be Hyundai Genesis. Now, like Acura and Infiniti and Lexus, they broke off now and they have their own thing. So it's just Genesis, and they wanted me to do quite a few of these Genesis models. So I'm going to do, I don't know, I got about 6 of them. This is like the 4th one that I'm doing, and then I think I might get a couple more. I think one more for sure. So that's super cool. It's real nice to get that kind of a bulk order from a dealer, and obviously on this car it's like a $65,000 car, I guess. So they want a high-end film, so they're paying a high-end good premium price for the tint jobs. So it's just a blessing all around. Basically I am net 30 with local dealerships. So that means that I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but that means that I bill them for the work, and then I get paid once a month for the work that I did previous month. So I'm used to that now, and it's a good system, and I like it, and I get my big check, and I pay all my bills and budget my money better than I did when I was younger. That's one of the things you gotta look at is the budgeting. But so yeah, so it's nice. I'm at the end of the month here, and this is a good little bulk order of cars to finish out the month, bring my check up quite a bit. So that's cool. But yeah, so I wanted to jump on here and share. I don't know if I'll do any real close-ups. There was a couple things I was going to talk about. One of them being these dealer jobs and dealing with the managers and making sure they do the right thing in regards to when they want to accessorize. And so I know there's probably quite a few guys that are on here that are in the business and deal with dealers and have dealer experience. Now, if you're interested, by the way, in how I'm doing this with these door panels and these shrouds and stuff, it's probably not the easiest to see, but I do have a video in the video list here on this channel of exactly how to take these door panels apart. They're very easy if you know that this shroud needs to come off. So if you want to check that out later, you can do that. I got pretty good close-up shots of that happening. So it's a specific method and technique. If you try to slide this door panel up without removing the shroud, you'll scratch the hell out of this shroud. And so you don't want to obviously do that. So go check that video out if you end up needing to work on one of these. It's a good heads up on how that works. But yeah, so anyways, when dealing with these dealers and getting bulk orders, and I suppose I could just kind of jump into that and go through that while I'm finishing this door panel here. But so I got this order, and I like to do the dealer work, and I've run into this a lot of times with managers that start to do accessorizing, right? And so they'll do some accessorizing, and one of the mistakes they'll make if they're kind of like a newer manager, maybe they don't have a lot of experience with doing accessories. But what happens is they'll order, like say, window tinting, and then they have the option to put an addendum on the vehicle, which adds an additional cost for the window tinting. And they should add in a profit, a pretty sizable profit, because somebody could negotiate the price of even that window tinting with the cost of the car and bring that price down. So they want to build the price up and build in there enough so that if they have to bring the price down, that they still can make a profit. One of the things that I've had happen with managers in the past is they'll accessorize a car, do the tinting, and they won't put the addendum on the car and build out for the price. Not only a profit for themselves, but also for the cost of the accessories themselves. And so then when they go to try to sell the car, you don't have it. You don't have that specified that the tinting's on there. And so what happens is that particular manager, maybe they'll accessorize a bunch of things and never really get paid for it. And then the higher ups come along and look at the numbers, and they can't justify the cost that was spent on all the window tinting and all the other accessories. So number one, that manager is going to end up looking like a fool. And number two, they're going to get cut off from accessorizing any further. Okay, because they didn't make money on the stuff that they did. So the higher up management is going to cut them off right there and make sure that they don't do that anymore. And what happens then to you is that you don't get any more work from that store. So when I deal with a new manager, and should it be my business that they make money on this and cover their costs? Should I have to worry about that? Well, if you want more work from that dealership, I inquire about it. And what I do is I'm going to make sure that they are going to add an addendum for the work that they're ordering on the car, because if they don't and they give it away for free, that could mess me up for future work from that dealership altogether. So it's a dealership I do work for, and that's something you can be concerned with, right? You can inquire about these things and be the expert, if you will, and make sure that this is going to be profitable for them. You can just mention it. It's not like you're going to go in there and act like their boss and tell them what to do, but you kind of can plant the idea in their head and make sure that, some of these things are at least being thought about. Because if I'm doing 5 of these cars at $200 a pop, and that's a G note that they spend on window tinting, and they don't make any money on that, I can almost guarantee that when these numbers are looked at by, say, the general manager, that they're not going to be spending any more money on tint again because they find it not profitable. So I think it's worth your time to find out about that and at least bring it up, because I've basically lost accounts from that situation in the past. And hey, it's nice to have these accounts, and it's good for them to make money on this stuff, right? So that it makes sense for you to be involved and get work from them and make cars look nice, make cars look more sellable, and the whole thing. So that's one thing that you want to be concerned with when you are dealing with dealerships and you're doing new car, accessorizing new cars, helping them to add to what they're already doing. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to look out for. So just something to be concerned with. The other thing that I wanted to share was this Ryk Shrink method. So I'm gonna screen share this in a bit here, but there's the Ryk Shrink. If you search on YouTube, the video is literally really horrible. And there's a whole bunch of different things that you can look at in this particular process, but this Ryk Shrink method, I've been fiddling around with this lately, really with no success. And I'm only bringing it up because I know there's people on here learning and you have a hard time shrinking windows, and if you fail, it's material waste. It's really a kick in the nuts, and it's something that is hard to deal with. But anyways, I've been looking at this Ryk Shrink Method, and it's really something different. I ended up on tintdude.com, and there was a post there about window peanuts, and I've mentioned this before. I mentioned this in the last video that I did. And so sometimes these lines are thick, and the distortion that naturally happens within the film will cause little bubbles to form, and they literally take on the shape of a peanut. And so it's a real common thing that tinters run into. We see this on certain vehicles. You may see this on some Chevy products, Impalas, Malibus. You might see this on some Nissan products, Ultimas, Maximas. You will see this on some Chrysler products, 200s, 300s, in that range, and some other random vehicles. Those are the few that I know. Most certainly, you can run into these issues. And so this Ryk Shrink Method, and I'll put this video on, and you can check it out here. I'm going to do a screen share, and I'll show this video real quick, and check it out and see what you think. And it's really something trippy. Now the video is horrible, and there's really no audio, but you can get a gist of what this guy's doing here. Check this out for a minute. And yeah, the video is really terrible. It may even be better in a small format here. Yeah, I don't even know if this will come through, because we're gonna have double video issues going through YouTube twice here. But you can get an idea of what he's doing here. Check this out for a minute. So what he's doing is he's laying down his baby, his soap, or his whatever method he's using, a dryer sheet, I'm not sure. But then he lays his film out, and he really carefully kind of directs his relief into a certain area, and he kind of gets this thing set up. It's real interesting that he doesn't trim the top. He has the top of the film as long as it possibly can be coming off the roll, and then the bottom he kind of has cut just above, like where the trunk is, where the ceramic kind of starts there. And in a minute here, he's going to use 2 heat guns, which is crazy. I understand this, like the sort of theory behind what he's doing. He's going to use 1 heat gun to direct heat underneath the relief area there and pop it up off the glass. And then he's going to use the other heat gun to shrink, but he's not doing any smoothing with his hand. So you can watch him kind of iron out these areas and bring it down and manipulate the film, shrink it. And I'm actually working on something here, so I'm just peeking over. Take a peek, watch that. You see him going to the other section. He's doing the same thing on the other side. The guy's doing it like butter, like he's got no problems with it at all. I don't know if my heat guns are not hot enough, but what I'm coming up with is an overstretched piece that doesn't want to go inside the glass. I had success on 1 window, and even on that attempt, the film wanted to curl off the glass. So I know I'm not quite doing something properly according to his system. But then once he gets to the top, he puts these 2 guns together, and then he's just kind of shrinking these pieces, just going back and forth. And it's really a mind-boggling thing. I mean, this is a video from, like, I guess from like the early 2000s, and I've never heard of this method. Somebody had mentioned it in the Tint Dude forum, and that's a perfect example of how you can go into the Tint Dude forum and learn stuff. And so it's worth your time to go in there. But you can see, I don't know if it's the film or what the method is here. And I've already kind of got this piece in a position where I don't have that extra on top for this piece that I'm working on here. But I may try a little something with this piece I'm working on here in a second. And the downside is you mess up and you don't get the stretching right, and you jack up the piece of film, and it's kind of the night I work late, and I'm not really trying to stay here extra, and so I don't know, but maybe I'll give it a shot. So that's another video there. I'm not going into that, but we'll stop that there. And so you get an idea of what this Ryk Shrink is, and it's really something how this works. I've never heard of it, and it's interesting. If you want to watch, there's some more videos where people are making making an effort to do it, and but it's like, man, it's just. So the idea behind it is that you get less distortion in the areas where you're shrinking from this method, and then what it boils down to is you won't get those peanut bubbles, which, I mean, honestly, it doesn't seem like a fair trade-off. It just seems like you're putting a lot of extra time out, and the results are iffy. But I'm giving it some time. I'm not really poo-pooing the whole idea just yet, because when you try something new and you fail at it, it's frustrating and whatnot. And so I got 2 heat guns set up, right? And I thought what I would do is just see here. So I don't want to put this on this expensive car without protecting this. But I thought, I wonder if I just direct a little bit of heat and pop that up off the glass, if that'll help me just shrinking regular. I'm going to switch the gun. Now, I don't want to melt the film, but I understand the logic behind getting some of this extra heat behind there. The problem I'm having with this method is that it's over shrinking. So you see, it's like a process of kind of going like this. Well, for some odd reason, it seems like it's just over shrinking that piece. So I'm going to try to change it up just a little bit here. And I understand if you get a little heat underneath this film, that really works well. And that's kind of been something I've utilized in the past here. So I just thought maybe I would just try a little modified version of this and still smoothing the piece out with my hand, where you see that guy wasn't really doing that. And see if I kind of get the same results that I'm used to getting with the way that I do it. And I got this heat gun on low, and I want to kind of pop this up, so I'm directing the heat under there, which it's working, but it's not quite doing the same thing that he had going in that video. But I just wanted to try this out and just get this film to pop up, because that warm air underneath the film really does work. It really is good for your shrinking. It's a good method that I do utilize, but usually what I do is I wave the heat over here, bring it back, wave it over here, so I'm getting a little heat underneath, but at the same time I'm just using one heat gun, and so I get the gist of it there. But let's use the 2 heat guns like he's doing and just see if I am able to shrink this effectively. Now, it kind of seemed as though he was moving fast, so I'm just gonna try this. And if I really sweep these 2 guns, the question is there extra heat from this? Is it really doing something? Is it worth doing? I really am on the fence yet. I don't know if this is just kind of some crazy stuff some old man's doing, and it really doesn't have any beneficial use for me. You know what I have. One of the other things that I have been doing to combat these peanuts is that back blade method, and that has worked. I'll show you something else that I came up with here that's helping me with that back blade method. So a lot of the guys on here, and I like to do this, I like to kind of take, you know, people's ideas and make them better and make them faster. And so what I did is I took a wallpaper scraper. It's, you know, and obviously it has like a 3-inch blade, where a lot of people are using these single edge stainless steel razor blades for this process to backblade, and I took this wallpaper scraper with a much bigger blade, and I've been using that so I can scrape across 3 lines at once. So that's been real helpful. So I don't know, check out that Ryk method here, and I kind of did just a regular shrink with a little modification, kind of just you know, using a little bit of the principle behind this Ryk method. And I'm a little nervous to maybe in another video I'll try and go for a little bit more and actually try to do it, but I don't want to mess up a piece here tonight because I want to get out of here. I want to try to just finish my work tonight and go. So, but anyways, here's this this wallpaper scraper. And if you're doing the backblade method to combat this peanut situation, you're just spraying the inside of the glass and you're just dragging backwards across the blade, across the defroster lines. And what you're doing is you're just shaving a little bit off, a very minor, very minute amount. These blades you got to be careful with because these will rust. And so when I'm done using it, I pop it out, and see, I used this once already, and it's already rusted a little bit. So then what I'll do when I got a blade like that is I'll just run some steel wool carefully. Obviously you don't want to, you know, cut yourself, but I'll run some steel wool over it and get it shined up. You can even take and spray a little WD-40 on it so it doesn't so it can't rust when you're dealing with a blade like this. It's like they're expensive. They don't last too long when they get wet. So you kind of want to try to preserve them, and obviously the thing is still sharp, right? So I'm just kind of just smoothing some WD-40 on there, and then I'll pop it back in here. And it can sit in there with WD-40 on it. It'll prevent it from, and I got it backwards, right? I got the blade in backwards, so the sharp edge is not sticking out, so I'm not going to reach in my toolbox and cut myself, which I've done before. And I'm sure every tinter out there has done that. So there's a little something there. If you run into this situation with peanuts, you will run into this. I'm going to make a video, and in order to make the video, I'm going to have to actually get the peanuts. I'm going to have to actually make sure I don't properly do the window so I get the peanuts, and then I can show how to deal with that. And I'll show the couple of methods that you can use to you know, take care of that here. And so yeah, this guy, he wanted me to come on, but I don't see, he's not answering my message, so I'm not sure if he's coming on or what. I see I only got 1 viewer on. I don't know if let me see if there's any. I doubt it, but if you got any questions or you want to interact, my friend, I'd be happy to talk with you. You are more than welcome to come on the actual hangout here. If you had the gusto to do so, you'd be welcome to do that. But let me just check the live stream here and see. I just want to see if where are we at? All right, hold on 1 second here. So yeah, just if you got you know, if you want to jump in this hangout, if you had questions, I am sure you probably don't. Yeah, nothing in there. So I'll just say hello in there. I don't know if you know where the chat window is. If you want to jump in there and say anything, you'd be more than welcome to. But yeah, so I'm just what I'm doing here is now I got this piece shrunk, ready to go in. I've got the side doors, the panels popped, and so I can bottom load. And really, this is a really straightforward car. You can watch, like I said, the video that explains the door panels and the shrouds. Easy enough, worth taking apart. Because once you have those out of the way, it's quite a bit faster than shrinking the pieces and top loading. And then with the top load, you don't know. You never know if you're gonna get a good finished result or if you're gonna end up with dirt and have to start over again. And if you're trying to do professional level stuff, you don't want to deal with that. On a car where it's easy to pop the panels, you're just gonna want to pop panels. There's really no point in not popping panels. So I'm just gonna put this right here. You can get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm gonna clean, and looks like the viewer we had took off here. So yeah, and I haven't really been making okay, got a couple guys on there. If you guys want to shoot something in the chat, I'm actually prepping this back up here, this back window to install this. So I'm working on a Genesis G80. Like I mentioned, doing a couple of these for the local Genesis dealer. And just thought I'd jump in today, see if anybody has any questions, see if anybody has anything they want to share. You guys are welcome to jump into this hangout if you want to, and actually, have a conversation or share what you got, ask questions, any of that stuff. I could put the link up if anyone's interested. Just let me know. But if not, no problem. I am going to just clean this back window here. And it's nice. So I did 3 of these today in addition to another vehicle. What I've done in the back seat here is I got a nice sheet that I've gotten from the local thrift store, Goodwill. I don't know if you have those where you live, but it's like, I'm sure you probably do. They sell, used clothing and used housing stuff and whatever. And I just buy some sheets that are, a couple bucks, and you can throw them in cars and utilize them for protecting, interior panels and seats and rear decks and stuff. So I threw a sheet in, covers most of everything. The material inside here is a real forgiving material. You can't tell it's wet. It doesn't show any signs of water marking or anything like that. So it's real forgiving. So you don't necessarily have to take the rear deck or the rear side panels out on this car. You can do the entire job without any worries of any damage or any sign that you're in here spraying water around and whatnot. But I like to cover the speakers, and it's just try to take some, whatever precautions you can, whatever precautions are necessary. I certainly, on a $65,000 car, I don't want to get the speakers wet. So, but yeah, this is really a really nice car. When I drive these around, I want one. They're really nice, man. They're solid. They're built heavy. They're just not chintzy and like a tin can, like a lot of new cars today. These things are really built well. So I'm just gonna spray down that little bit along the bottom there. I'm not gonna move the camera around too much today. I came on. JY said he wanted to hang out, but I don't see anything yet from him. Maybe he's not. Maybe he replied here. Let's see. Nope, he didn't reply yet. All right. So, anyways, I am. Oh, maybe he is in here. Bro, I was gonna invite you into this live hangout, dude. If you want to come in here, you respond to me in the messenger there if you're on here, or comment in the chat if you want. But if you have any interest in coming in here, I wouldn't mind shooting the breeze with you while I work on this car, and that would be cool. You could actually come in the hangout and add another element to this thing here, and I'd be happy to talk with you. That'd be cool. I'm just gonna prep this up here. I see you accepted my message there, but not sure if you know what I had in mind. Not sure. You don't have to have video on. You could just do audio only if you want. If you got, I don't know if you got a headset and a camera or what kind of equipment you got or anything, but you're welcome to. I'm wondering if you're tinting windows, if you did any work here lately, or you know what your story is, how things are going for you, if you had some success with the back window on the Dart that was giving you a hard time, if any of the videos that I made in regard to that helped you out. That would be cool to talk about. So I'm doing a reverse roll here. You guys have seen me do this before. It's really the only method I use for a rear window. There would have to be some kind of really unique, special situation for me to do the old-fashioned Frankenstein. I don't do that anymore. I don't find it to be efficient. I don't find it to be as clean, and I just don't. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. The old drape the window piece all over, and really it takes a lot more skill and a lot more practice to get that piece in this back area by yourself. So I recommend, if you're just starting out, just go for the reverse roll and learn that right off the bat, and don't bother with the Frankenstein method at all. I just think it's outdated, but some people just, you know, still do it and swear by it. And if you're one of them, hey, bless you, my friend. I don't mind. We can still be friends. I just don't like utilizing it. So yeah, these cars, you'll know if you do enough cars, you'll know that there's certain cars that just, now hopefully I don't open my mouth and wreck it for myself, but there's certain cars that just are a pleasure to work on. They always seem to come out clean and not a lot of contamination and minimal effort, and they're just all around joy to work on. This is one of those cars. Hyundai is one of those manufacturers that I don't have a problem with working on their stuff. I usually have really good results, clean, straightforward, and I like them. I like working on them. It's quite a bit the same for Honda, Toyota. Generally, you know, even though obviously I'm American, here I am in America. I don't have the same happy results all the time with like Chevy cars. I don't know that, you know, like Ford, they're still using the fuzzy sort of window gaskets, and that fuzz has a tendency to break off, and I don't get excited about that. That's one thing I don't like. So it kind of really does seem like the foreign cars are, for window tinting, are quite a bit easier to work on, in my opinion. Somebody you might have a differing opinion, which is cool. I'm not trying to offend, but just kind of sharing a little bit of what I think about some of these cars. And I like working on Hyundai. I could work on Hyundais all day and all night and not be bothered. They just always seem to turn out good and clean. So just gonna go ahead here and just squeegee this puppy in place. And if you guys have been working on cars, I'd love to know, what was the most recent vehicle you did? How'd it turn out? If you're in business for yourself, what do you tend to do a lot of? What do you feel like is the easy cars, or, you know, cars that don't cause a lot of problems for you? that type of a thing. I could do, well, like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, I could do like SUVs, like CRVs and stuff. I could do those. I could do a lot of those in a week and I'd be fine with that. Straightforward, quick, easy jobs, good money, and not a lot of headache, you know? Don't have to jump in back seats on a lot of those vehicles. That's nice. Getting a little older, jumping in these back seats with these crazy positions tends to tweak my back out more. That's one of the things in this industry, man, is you get a little older and your back gets tight, man, you are going to be feeling it. End up with a backache here and there. Keep your chiropractor on speed dial. And I ain't kidding. I got mine right over here. There's a good chiropractor right around the block here. And I go there every 2 weeks when my back's healthy, whether I need it or not. Because loosen you up, keep your spine adjusted, and it is worth it. And just getting yourself all positioned all crazy in these back seats is, you're going to get some backaches. Pinch lower. You'll notice you kind of hold yourself in certain positions frequently. I tend to kind of cock myself to the right side and pinch my lower right vertebrae, 2, 3, 4, L2, L3, L4, right in that range. And so I always end up with the same sort of back kinks, you know, mid back, neck on the right side, lower right side. So, all right, so I got this window done, guys. I'm going to come out. I'm going to double check this puppy. I'm going to make sure that I like what I see. I just smacked my nail on the thing here and pulled my nail off my finger a little bit. That was fun. So let's see what we got here. So let me just check this thing. I don't know if homeboy here is talking to me yet or what. Nope. So I don't know. It must not be him. Anyways, I'm going to leave that alone. And I'm just going to finish this car because I don't want to be here all night. But let's see what we got. So I use my, standard method. It's a straightforward car. I mean, I could see, I got like a speck there. There's a couple specks. I probably don't like that too much. I don't think they're going to be anything that's going to be real noticeable. There's a couple specks up in this area up here. I could nitpick about it. But I think it's all right. It's nothing that's real big and coarse. Nothing that's going to show up other than just if you're doing what I'm doing, really looking at it and getting different angles, letting the light hit it a different way, and you can see stuff, but it turned out good. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not worth chasing after. I mean, if I get some really thick, gritty type of dirt that's going to pop, when it dries, it's going to be bubbles around it or, turn into a bubble, then I'm definitely not going to leave that. I'm going to have to redo it. But I've got some very fine little specks of dust that I don't think no one will ever notice. So it'll be fine. We still got the manufacturer sticker here. I'm going to remove that so I can see what I'm doing behind it. It's not something you really need, but it's interesting. This is a South Korean made vehicle, so you got like, the South Korean wording at the bottom. Just purely a manufacturer sticker that's not even necessary. Shouldn't even be on the car anymore at the dealership. But so here's a brand new buyer guide window sticker. If you just go and try to pull this off without using some heat, you'll rip it for sure. And this car is for sale, so I need to put this on the windshield where it's out of the way, and I need it to look like I never manipulated it. So these things, they've been on the car usually for such a short amount of time that if you just put a little pressure like, you know, peeling it away from the glass type of pressure, and then just wave some heat on the adhesive. It'll self-release, and it'll come off really nice, and you can put it on the windshield, and it's like it was never messed with. If you go too fast, it's gonna rip, and so you don't want that. It's not a big deal. If I did damage the hell out of it, I could tape it up there and nobody would cry really about it, but I don't want to do that. So I can set that down for a second, and I'm gonna get this other one. This is this sticker here is just for the service fee, which they, by law, they have to post that as well. So I got these two off of there. I'm just gonna reposition these on the front and make it look real nice. You know, sometimes they'll take these and put them back on the windows that I tinted, which I don't like when they do that, because then typically the lot kids, they don't have typically a lot of experience, and they'll go and take a razor blade to try to get the sticker off, and then they'll end up gouging the film, and then I'll have to redo a film. I'll get paid for it, but I don't want to do that. It takes time out of my day. You know, I can do one window job and then I lose some time, and then I basically could lose a whole car if things don't go right. So I'd rather not get myself in that predicament here. I'm gonna cut some film. If you guys got anything you need, or you got questions about anything, I'm just gonna cut some film, put it up so you can check it out, hang out. If I think of anything else, I actually came on here for that brother, so I'm not sure where he is. I've been super busy, man. I've been just, at the end of the month, it's real common in doing a lot of dealer work. No, I still want this. One common thing is that the salespeople and the entire dealership is scrambling for numbers. Okay, the salesmen are trying to get cars sold to beef up their check, and so basically the entire dealership is booming the last week of every month, and it's the same thing for me doing a lot of dealer work because I'm trying to get my check, my numbers up, and so I've been really busy in the last week. I haven't really streamed or done much on here. I didn't even think of a video. I had those few things to share. I might come up with something else here. But I've been just slammed with trying to get some cars out, and I had a bunch of retail work too, which it's cool to be busy, but a lot of times you'll end up busy and then you'll be trying to get the dealer work accomplished, and you'll get a bunch of retail, and then it's kind of overwhelming sometimes. It almost seems like, yeah, it's cool that I got retail, but now I'm not beefing up the numbers for the dealership. So my big check that I get to pay all my bills will sometimes be lacking. And of course, when you get cash work coming in, there's always cash going out. So you have a tendency to spend that stuff. But it's all work. It's all good. It's all good. I'm in the process of purchasing this building, which I've been talking about that, but now I'm at the end of the underwriting process, and so I should be closing on this building in the next 6 weeks, I guess. So commercial purchase is a little bit different, obviously, than a residential. I literally been working with this I've been working with this loan officer that does this SBA, Small Business Association type loans. Been working with this lady for a year to get this purchase. Now, a normal purchase, commercial, wouldn't take that long, but I had some special things that I needed to do, some credit repair, and everything's good now. So, be looking forward to getting this wrapped up. All right, so we got our pieces cut. I'm just going to park these up on the glass here. get myself positioned to prep these, and then I'll go ahead, I'll clean the windows, literally slap these pieces on, because this car is so pleasant to work on that I can usually just slap these on. My patterns are simply flawless for this car. You know, there's some variation in some of the patterns for some of the stuff that I have to do. So sometimes I have to manipulate the piece. Sometimes I have to manipulate the pattern. But for this particular car, it's really a breeze. I got nice, really tight edges. I can get a nice 1/16 of an inch gap on some of these, on all these windows at the top edge. So I don't have to worry about any of that stuff being a problem. So it's real nice to be able to do that. And ease of installation, that's the number one thing that we're interested in achieving. All right, so I got the other windows cut there, and gonna throw these on. I actually made a video. If you guys want to go and see, you could check it out. I'll put it in the chat here, but I can go to my my actual Facebook business page. It's https://facebook.com/film proficient. If you want to check that out, I actually put up another video yesterday just showing one of these G80s, kind of like a marketing piece. So I'll give you guys a little insight, a little hint on something that you can do if you're just getting started out. This has been hugely successful for me, and nobody is doing this. So this will be really good. This is worth your time and energy. And you can do this a couple different ways. So if you're kind of trying to market for a business, a lot of times what I see a lot of guys are doing is they are putting picture ads even in buy sell groups on Facebook. And so what I started doing, I got guys in my area marketing for tint jobs for $100. Now I'm not doing $100 tint job. You guys may you know, that may work for somebody starting out, and I'm not going to poo-poo that, but I'm not, that's not the price bracket I'm in. You know, so I'm doing 175 to 250. And so, you know, why is somebody going to want to come to me and use my services? And how am I going to compete on Facebook with these guys advertising for $100? So what I decided to do was come in and do some video marketing and show what I'm doing. And really what I'm really doing by default is setting myself apart from these dudes, these younger guys, as a professional by doing some of these videos. So I've even gone in there on the buy sell groups. They allow you, Facebook allows you to live stream in these buy sell groups, and nobody's doing it. So like the main buy sell group in my area is a like 48,000 member or something like that group. So you go in there and put a live, and you go live, and everybody gets a notification that you're live streaming, that you just went live. You know how Facebook works like that. And so I've been having really good results scheduling appointments and getting in front of people by putting videos up in there. So I went live a few times, and I've been making these little videos and just posting videos up in there. And nobody else is doing that in these buy sell groups. So it's a free way to get in front of, you know, 100,000 people. So that might work for you guys. You might go and do that, and that'll work for you. Now I've been looking into actually when you do the live streaming, you can only live stream to one group by default, or like one page. So I've been looking at some software that would allow me to live stream and get in front of whatever, a couple 100,000 people for free on Facebook. Now, if you can do that, it may be easier to, I don't know, make a video showing some pictures, but it's the moving video footage that is the it's the cat's rear end, if you know what I mean. It's something different that nobody's doing. Make yourself stand apart and make sure people, take a second to look at your video, right? And so you do something like that regularly, and of course you might not, get everybody right then and there, but down the road when somebody does need some tinting, they're going to remember you. And so it's a great way to do some free marketing and get some good results. Of course, if you do Facebook ads, that costs money. They're affordable too. I do some of that as well. But you got to learn how to use the business manager and learn how to create ads and learn quite a bit of stuff to do that, and then pay, and then hope you do it right and get the results you're looking for. And it can be a little bit more tricky. So that buy sell group idea is a real nice, easy way to get in front of a lot of people for free and easily. So that might be something you guys might be interested in. Today I'm just busting windows out. I don't plan to make this video too long. I'd love to get some feedback and share and give some insight or answer some questions or whatever. If anybody has any questions, if you watch later, feel free to leave comments, and I'd be happy to help you. I'd be happy to do that. You can join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Tint Academy. We're going to have a bunch of stuff going on there shortly when I actually start marketing this whole thing. And you can see the website, Tint Academy, located at the website. It's learnhowtotintcarwindows.com. You can check us out there. In the future, I will have, right now, I will have some stuff there in the future. Definitely, I'm going to have courses. I'm going to have personal one-on-one help type coaching going on there. And the thing that I'm doing right here right now is just trying to build up some content on here on YouTube, right? So if people come on here, they're going to see a wealth of content to look at. And then if they want close-up, more in-depth, more one-on-one type stuff, then they'll go to the website, and I'll start doing, some different marketing and search engine optimizing and stuff for that. So right now, just building up some videos, a video library here, sharing and whatnot. Trying to be a blessing to whoever I can, help whoever I can. And I'm just gonna whip through these. I'm cleaning them, doing a good job, but today, I know a lot of these videos I spend 2 hours or something just going over a simple car that I normally get done an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm trying not to do that today. My wife wants me to bring home Chipotle. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get me a tofu burrito bowl. And those are good with some hot sauce. And so I'm not trying to stay here too late tonight. I didn't end up with any retail work tonight for whatever reason. Normally I work later on Wednesdays, and I get some retail. People are interested in these weekend appointments and evening appointments. So I got these later hours on. I got some Sunday morning time slots that are attractive for people. I got some Wednesday evening time slots that are attractive for people that are busy like we are. They can't get here during the day during the week. And so instead of losing those customers to someone else, like I'm not open on Saturday. I keep the seventh day biblical Sabbath day, so I don't work on Saturday. I work Sunday through Thursday instead. And so I got some of those hours to try to help people out. And I actually just changed my store hours too on Google Local, because I'm fully operating. Here's another tip. If you guys are thinking about if you're gonna getting started doing your own thing, your own business stuff, and doing your own marketing, don't put your cell phone number out there. Not like you would have any problems with it, but at some point you're going to wish you didn't have people texting and blowing up your phone. So one thing that you can utilize that works really awesome is a Google Voice number, and they're free, and you can get the app on your phone, and you can have another additional phone number coming into your phone that's strictly for business. You can turn it off if you want to, whenever you want to. It's a great way to kind of have another identity, another business number. But I changed my numbers on Google Local and just made myself open all the time because I'm answer the phone or answer text messages and make appointments. I do pretty much all my appointments making through text message. I have pre-typed out price lists and directions, and I have frequently asked questions already typed out, and I have a little app called Clipper, and you can have all that stuff stored in there and itemized in categories. And then when people ask you, whatever questions they might ask you, you have all that stuff ready to go. So if somebody, right on my website, it says text me. So if somebody texts me and they say, what's the cost for whatever 2015 Toyota Camry, I've got, boom, my price list. I just touch on it, it automatically copies to the clipboard. I paste it in the text, fire it off, and everything's in there. The warranty, the pricing, the different film that I'm going to use, and so that's a really super way to communicate. Nowadays, most people would rather text you anyways. So if you make it clear to them that they can text you or that you prefer texting, most people are going. I have, let's say, I would say 1 out of 25 people calls me, and I answer the phone. I see it's that Google number coming through. I know which marketing it's coming from, and I answer. And a lot of times that gets business just because I'm the only one that's available. When all these other places are closed and they're not answering the phone and they don't text, so people gotta only call them during business hours, which isn't convenient for most people in this world that we live in nowadays. So if you're just available all the time by text and or by phone, you're gonna win a lot of business by doing that. And that's working for me and has worked for me for years. I've been primarily text message only for appointments and inquiries and pricings, stuff like that, for 9 years, 8 years, something like that. Where my voicemail, if you call it, it says, hey, thanks for calling. Sorry that I didn't answer. I'm probably installing a piece of film and my hands are wet, or I'm on the phone with another customer. Feel free to just shoot me a text, and I'll get back to you with prices and pictures and all the information that you need. Shoot me a text now at this same number. And lo and behold, the majority of people will just shoot you a text and love to do that nowadays. Everybody loves texting. It's more convenient. It's easy. You don't have to sit there and repeat yourself with your price list. And I have a complicated price list with multiple different levels of film and different warranties for each film. And then I have some add-ons in my price list, you know, a price for a sun strip, price for filed edging and different things. And I try to have those things in sort of a menu type format. That way I can provide lower price points for the people that don't want to spend a lot. And then there's, you know, upsells in there that people can choose if they want them. So if somebody wants really tight edges, they want filed edges on their, you know, on their roll up windows, and then they'll add that. And then you know, it's another $50 for that particular upsell. And that goes, you know, and I add that to what I charge and do that service for them. And if they don't want that, they don't want to pay a lot of money, great. I have an attractive low price point for them as well. All of this is in my my price list, which really people love, because I could literally sit on the phone with somebody and explain what I do and what I have for a half hour with every customer. And then when I'm done explaining it, they'll say, well, what was that again? And then you got to go through it again. Whereas if you just send a price list, they can really just have it in front of them and make a decision. And then I document everything that, you know, was said in the conversation, which is a whole nother good aspect behind what I do. And so all around, texting is a win-win. If you are just getting into this and you're looking for the most efficient way to do this for a one-man show like me, you know, I don't have any helpers right now. I'm probably getting close to where I could really use somebody. But if you're a one-man show, texting is great. You don't have a salesperson, you know, selling and scheduling. You don't have, you know, like anybody else doing any of these other roles that are necessary in this business. It's really nice to utilize technology and lighten the workload. If you're answering the phone every time the phone rings, you might as well forget it. You might as well walk away from the job, stand by the computer. And I don't like doing that. I don't like taking my focus off the car when I'm working on the car. I want to stay focused on the car. Like right now, I'm talking to you, but I'm not focused on you. And so I'm focused on this car. I'm focused on this piece of film right here. And it's the same with the texting. I'll answer the text frequently enough so people are satisfied with the communication, but it's at my leisure. You know, so that's a little bit of, but I got into all that just to tell you that the Google Voice is just awesome. That is the way to go. Give yourself a free business line that you can text from and everything that can come in right to your cell phone that you're already using. I don't know like why you would add a business line to your shop or any of that. Like I don't have none of that. I don't need it. If by chance I was, you know, to, you know, say, okay, I'm going to let this phone ring and I'm going to have an employee answer it, then I would just route that thing to work on my computer, and I'd figure out another way for that to work out. Or just, you know, forward the number to their phone or something like that. But I don't need to worry about that. I don't operate like that at the moment. There may even be like handsets that you can get for Google Voice. I'm not sure, like a telephony, like PC telephone or something. I don't know. Like I used to have Vonage years ago. Maybe something that operates like that. But anyways, excuse me. Yeah, the Google Voice number is awesome. Works really good. The only issue I've had with that is the when, let's say, like your bank wants to send you a verification text with a verification code in it, for some odd reason that Google Voice app, when it's running in the background, it prevents some of those verification texts from coming through. I don't know why. So sometimes I have to opt for like the email verification instead, which comes to the phone anyways. So anyways, you can see, guys, I am literally ripping through this car. I'm not messing around today. I don't want to be here too long. So I'm just literally just spanking these windows out. You're not really getting some, any good insight or close-up footage, but you probably watched before. You've probably seen what I do before. I'm just doing the same stuff. I'll share some tips and some tricks, not trips. No tripping going on here. I'll share some tricks and some insight and whatever else I can. If anybody had any questions, I would answer those. I wonder what Jay Wise is up to here. He's probably busy doing something else. I'd like to know if he worked on any cars. It's just people I met on YouTube here. Jay Bird and Jay Wise. I don't know, maybe Jay Bird's on here. Text me if you're on here, Jay Bird. I've been trying to get him to join Facebook too so he could join me on here. But I don't think he wants to, which is cool. That's fine. Let's see here. I got a text. Oh, Ed Grabos. I got the rep from Reno texting me. He says he see my video on YouTube. Oh, he wants to repost it on the site. That would be awesome, brother. Yeah, cool. So I made a on my website, on my blog, so it's filmproficient.com. It's https://www.filmproficient.com. I made a video for Reno Window Films, kind of going through and talking about why I like the film, and now the rep's going to talk to the higher ups and see if he can repost my video to the actual Reno website, so I'll get a backlink from that effort. That would be super cool for SEO and all that stuff. So I got Jay Wise here just messaged me back. I don't know. He's not in this. I don't think he's watching, but I just asked him. I just invite him on board if he wants to come on. Yeah, sorry, I'm daydreaming on this text. I'm just responding to this rep here. I'm just telling him, hey man, he said could we share that video? They might want to edit it and make it a little shorter for their own purposes. And I'm gonna say I would like to get a link back to my site out of it, obviously, right? Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know much about search engine optimizing, but I've been working quite a bit at trying to improve my search engine ranking for my own business website, which I've done. I've done fairly good. I've been working on a lot of different things, and a year ago I was just started working on search engine optimizing for this website. I was busy with dealer work. I didn't really care about my website. It was on like the 4th or 5th page of Google. Nobody's gonna see that, right? So I start doing some search engine optimization efforts, start learning about it, start implementing different things. I got the site on the first page of Google now. In the local Google search results, I'm number 3. and I'm getting calls from Google and people searching for window tinting in the area that I'm in with my keywords and all that stuff. So that's successful. But one of the other things that you want to do that takes more time that Google looks at, people like to say they don't look at it as much as they used to, but I think they're lying. And that is backlinks from other websites. Websites pointing to your website. And what that does is gives you a vote of confidence in the Google algorithm that people are talking about your site or what you're doing, and it can give you good, better search engine results. Now, I think because in the past people were really manipulating this stuff and being unfair with it, so I think that Google has tried to downplay this and act like, oh yeah, backlinks are a thing of the past. It doesn't matter anymore. We don't look at that stuff. But I think they're lying, and I don't think that their algorithm could abandon that successful metric for search engine optimizing. So I still think I and other people that I've listened to and learned from. See, I watch like podcasts or I live stream videos like this of people that do search engine optimizing. And I, just like you're watching this video, I watch those kind of videos and learn from those people. And because that's huge. And you either got to hire somebody to do that stuff for you, or you got to learn how to do it yourself. And so I just decided, hey, I'm going to become a search engine optimization guy, and I'm going to learn how to rank a website. And this is going to be valuable for other things that I have an interest in doing, not only this, my small business here. And so I've been working on getting backlinks, which is, you can do a lot of the other stuff fairly easy, but getting backlinks from other people and other sites is a little bit harder. It's time consuming. You have to be patient. It could take you a couple of years to get, or more even, to get some good, authentic, authoritative, high quality backlinks that will help your website. And so it's not like some thing you just do overnight. And there are kind of, sneaky ways that you can, every once in a while, my my stupid string here from my apron gets caught in the handle of this little chair I got, and it pulls it off on me. So you got to see that live. Anyways, so yeah, backlinks. I'm excited about the message that I got there from that guy, because I'll get a backlink out of that, and that's a good, authoritative backlink with from a relevant website that probably has a lot more exposure and a lot more traffic than I have. So that'll be a good backlink to have coming into my site. And that's another thing that I do a little bit of blogging, and I put stories or whatever, insight and just information about tinting for people to go look at on my website. And then that'll bring traffic to your site, and it's working with this blog post that I have on my website about Reno window films. I've got people contacting and going to my site, seeing this particular post. So it's generating traffic, which shows Google that I've got something on my site worth seeing, and then it'll help to rank my site better, even for local organic tinting customer type traffic. So that's super, 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 super cool. And so, yeah, I am just about done with these windows here, guys. Not sure. I'm actually trying to just work at my normal pace and see how quick I can get a normal a normal video of me doing a car in a normal time frame without fiddling around with that camera and all that stuff. In the future, I've got my eyes on a setup. I'm not going to disclose what it is. People can go and do their own homework if they want to figure out something. But I'm going to have the ability to live stream with multiple cameras, so there'll be close-up footage available, and it's going to be awesome. And that's when we're going to start getting into doing search engine optimizing for these videos and build this channel up. But you got to have some content on the channel before before you do that. You're in the chat, dude. I don't know, J-Wise. I see you in there, bro. We should probably, let's see here. Let's just see. I don't know. Let me see here. Answer me this. Do you have, are you using a PC? Do you have do you have a headset and a camera by chance? What kind of equipment are you on? Um, you can try. Here, see if you can join this hangout once. Let's just test this out here. There's only a couple people on here, but oh, you got neither of those? Okay. Yeah, I'm almost wrapping it up here. What are you using? You're on your phone? You'd need the Google Hangouts app if you're on your phone. You could join that way. If you're on a PC, or if you're on a laptop, you should have a webcam and the microphone that's on the laptop. You could join. Just try. Click on that link and try joining in, dude, and see what happens. Let's test it out. That'd be cool. Just shoot the breeze for a minute. I still got a little time on this. Wouldn't have to be a long time at all. I'd like to know, just check up with you real quick, and maybe we could start getting some people in here. You could be the first person to join in and break the ice. Really, that's what I want this to be about. Is I really want to have a hangout and get people in here asking questions, sharing their experience, blah blah blah. So we got some time, bro. If you can join in, I'd like to have all these viewers in here that you guys are just sitting there chilling, man. Let's hang out. Let's shoot the breeze. Let's produce a show, and let's produce some good content that the interwebs would appreciate. See if you can jump in there, Jay-Wise. I can't see the chat right at the moment. I'm putting these headrests back in. I got this car done, and I am pulling my garbage out. I got my my cheap sheet here. Let that dry. And let's see what he says. Yeah, you could do it on the PC, bro. If you got a headset, or you don't need a headset right now, you could just try it out. It might have a little bit more of a noise and whatever, but you could do it on the PC. It's got to have a webcam and a microphone. Having trouble. Otherwise, let's connect later to keep trying. Let's see if that doesn't work. Give me a second here. I don't know. That one didn't work. Let's see. There was another. Toot toot toot. Yeah, that sucks. Here, you could try this one. You could try that one. Let's see, YouTube page, video embed. We don't want that. Does this? That doesn't. It's crazy that the Hangout doesn't have the same chat that the video has. It's like, why? I don't get it. Anyways, having trouble connecting to video. Hey, there. All right, there he is. What's up, brother? How are you?
What's up?
Awesome, dude. There we go. So, how's it going, man?
I'm good.
So, how did that dart turn out for you? Did you actually get that thing accomplished, or what?
Oh, hold on.
There we go. There might be a little delay. Can you see me? I think when I'm talking, it'll show me. When you talk, it'll show you.
Okay.
There might be a little delay. Can you see me? I think when are you on
Yeah,
Wi-Fi, or you got a wired connection or Wi-Fi?
it's Wi-Fi.
Okay, you're coming in, dude. Just just tell us about this dart, man. How'd that thing turn out? Did you get to that?
No, I haven't done it yet. I don't really had enough time to, but it's been on my mind. That's for sure.
Is that like your personal vehicle or what?
It is my personal vehicle.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I've
I
been
don't the window, the back window, don't even look aggressive or hard or anything. I mean, I've done multiple windows, but that one just gets to me. I don't understand it.
yeah. No, I know there'll be windows like that, and I don't know if you've seen. I added that last video the other day that you missed last week. I talked about making sure that you steel wool the outside of that window to make sure that you don't have any overspray or anything on there, because that will cause results like kind of what you're running into.
Yeah.
So that might be something you might want to try.
Well,
But,
I use steel wool. And then I'll follow that up with a white scrubby. And that's pretty much my basic procedure for it.
You're talking on the inside, right?
Yeah, on the inside, and then the outside, I just use a white scrubby. I don't steel wool it.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Is so what I run into, and in that last week's live stream, if you watched it, I'm not sure, but what I was getting into there was that exact thing. Is if there's any kind of like layer of overspray from paint or any kind of thing on the outside, even a heavy layer of dirt that's been on the car for a long while, that you clean the window, but you still end up with this. If you clean the window and then run your hand over it, like do this thing and feel it, you'll know if you got some kind of layer of just even gunk on there. You can end up with paint overspray or tree sap or just like embedded dirt from over the the whatever the last couple of years. If you steel wool that on the outside with a dry piece of steel wool, 4/0 steel wool, and just really scrub the window down with the steel wool until it's really nice and smooth, that may help you alleviate that problem with the shrinking that you're having.
So you don't need to wet the steel wool?
No, you don't need to wet it, because you don't really want that. It's nice if the steel wool is dry, you can kind of see if it's cutting in and creating a little bit of a dust. You can see that you're actually getting some results, and no, it won't scratch or nothing. If you go with a little more coarse steel wool, like a 2/0, then you'd be in risk of scratching. But as long as it's the 4/0, the 4/0 steel wool, it's fine to use it dry, and then you can reuse that piece too,
Okay.
So
I might try the baby powder method as well when I'm shrinking. Some people use a soap. They said that's it glides a little better, but I'm unsure about that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try those methods. I mean, it's kind of funny that I've been doing this for so long that I never mess with any of those other dryer sheets. And in the beginning of this video earlier, I kind of went through a little bit of another shrink method that I was looking at that I never tried before. And so you can watch that later if you want to check it out. But I think I'm gonna do a video here. The next one, I'm going to have myself prepared and use these dryer sheets and try that method, and even the soap method. I've never done these things. I kind of just been set in my ways with the baby powder. So I think it'd be cool to just try some of these things and go at it that way. But yeah, the baby powder is worth checking out. I would do that if I was you. I think it takes a little bit to fine tune the layer, how thick of a layer you want to go with, a really thin layer when you get started, you know.
Yeah.
But try it out. So what do you do, man? Where do you work?
Well, I work for the city right now, and I do the tinting on the side. So
yeah.
But eventually, I'm gonna go full time with this. So.
What'd you say?
Eventually, I'm gonna go full time with the tinting. I used to do flat glass with my dad a whole lot, so I got a good amount of experience in that. Auto, I dipped in it a little bit a couple years ago. Got decent at it. I was still struggling with the back windows at that time. And up to, I say about a year or so, year and a half, I've been really trying to get serious with it and get on forums and groups and all that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. I'll help you out in whatever way I can. And yeah, you should start. You know what I think you should start doing, if you can, is start documenting your jobs. You know, even if you record and do a video of just like the back window and then, you know, side windows, start documenting some of that stuff so you can produce yourself a little online resume if possible. You know.
Yeah.
And then if you one of the things I want to do on the website there is to help people to do that, so you have a resume that you can demonstrate to somebody that you've progressed, you've been at this for a while, you've got experience, because that's one of the things people are looking for. So yeah, I think that would.
There's actually a guy on a different Facebook group that he lives in Alabama. I live in Mississippi, so like he lives, one state over, and he said I can go to his area and he'll train me for a weekend. I think I'm gonna do that a couple weekends from now. So he has like 25 experience, so that'll be pretty interesting. Yeah, like I said, like side windows and all that, like I got that down. I just every now and then I get a few cars where the back windows are just gets me every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So how far of a trip is that for you then? It's not too bad, eh?
It's about an hour and a half. Who's that?
Oh, okay. That's great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tell you to come on over here, but I think it's it's probably like a 15-hour drive.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll work out. But yeah, that's cool. Did you meet that guy online or what?
Yeah, I met on I can't remember. I don't know the Facebook. I got like 5 different window film groups I follow on Facebook. So, but he's from one of them groups.
Yeah. Does he do? Oh, you know what? I think you got. It's gonna naturally happen. I can hear myself talking in your computer, but you don't have a headset, so no worries. So this other guy, does he make videos or what's his story?
No, I think he's just a normal person in the group, the forums. So,
gotcha.
And he's just, I guess he's someone like you, just openly helping people, But so.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
I took Stan Foster's DVDs like 3.5 years ago, really? And I was into it for like a few months, and then I do like probably like everyone else does. They get frustrated and they give up. Give up the auto portion of it. I did flat glass for a while. I was really doing good with that. I did a FedEx building, a Sherwin-Williams building. and then I actually gave that up. So
Really?
just about the past year and a half, I've been getting pretty serious about it again. I'm sticking to my guns this time. So this is actually the most work I've put into it, knowledge wise, and connecting with people. So
Yeah, it's gonna work out for you, dude. That's the only thing is, keep your head about, progressing and actually follow through with the action. There's nothing that's gonna stop you. It's cool. Yeah, I didn't know you had that. I didn't know you did. You did some flat glass, and I like flat glass. I don't know. I don't like the bidding process, and where I'm
yeah,
at, people, call around and get a bunch of different people to come and bid on jobs, and then the next guy bids you out of the job, and so it's kind of hard. You end up spending time traveling around for, it ends up, for me, if I'm busy with cars, it's like, why do I want to do that right now? So, but I like flat glass. I
I
like
did.
doing it.
Well, my dad was trained by a local guy that's really big. He had one of the biggest tinting shops around here. He trained him how to do houses and just commercial window tinting, and so we did a few houses together. And then my dad taught me that way, and then we moved up to like a Sherwin-Williams building, a FedEx building, and was
Yeah.
gonna go off and launch, and it never did. And so it came down tumbling, and I never really got into it again. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool, man. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to come up with the time. I know if you're busy working, and it sounds like you have a child there. Hey, is that your daughter or something?
That's my girlfriend's son.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'm just saying that, life is busy, so I know it's hard to get time to do all this stuff, but are there a lot of tint shops in your area?
Reputable ones, I'd say 2, 3, maybe. So,
Okay.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're not familiar with the climate down here, but it's mainly like humid most of the year. I mean, like right now it's cold. It is down to 30s, and then like earlier today it was like in the 30s in the morning time, and then it gets to like 60 degrees in the daytime. So I mean, we have them kind of increments in the weather. So, but majority of the time it's humid and it's mild. So we have the perfect weather for it. So we have quite a few shops, but reputable ones, like big ones, probably like 2 or 3 max.
Yeah.
So.
I guess what I'm just wondering is, like, are you planning on working at like another tint shop for a while, or you think you're gonna just go on your own, or what are you thinking about doing?
My uncle actually owns one of the bigger stereo shops down here, and it's kind of like an extension of his business. So I've been doing that.
Awesome.
His building. So.
Oh, that's great. I suppose he kind of wants you to get proficient and come in there and work.
Yeah, he does. He's he wants to get the information.
Ah, man, that's awesome. Dude, you'll have instant business that'll work out really well.
Yeah, he has a pretty big clientele, so.
I don't know what you're doing, but like for me, like I was talking a little while ago, I don't know if you heard me, but I'm trying to do a bunch of other online stuff. I'm actually trying to create a little bit of a passive online income in addition to this.
Yeah.
For later down the road. And one of the things I did was I just had to make time for those other efforts. So I work Wednesday nights here at the shop. So Wednesday morning from like 7 a.m. to like about 11, 12 o'clock, I just work on websites and marketing and stuff that's geared towards that. I mean, if you just make yourself some time that's for the tinting and getting together with him, maybe you can set it up so you got a couple of nights a week where it's scheduled, and then you just know I'm going there. This is gonna happen. Yeah. It'll keep you motivated and kind of locked in. If you make that commitment to do it, you'll just do it,
Yeah, he's closed on Sundays and Mondays. So like I usually do on Saturdays, Sundays, or Mondays. Sometimes Fridays. So I mean, really don't matter. I mean, usually it's Saturdays and Sundays are pretty much the only time I really do it. Hands on and physically. So, and during the week I'm pretty much doing this watching videos or on the forums and the groups and learning from other people who's been having 25, 30 years experience and tricks and tips. So just like really taking it all in, trying to progress.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Just keep yourself saturating your brain with the info. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But like somebody once said, like you're taking all the knowledge, but you got to put it to use, or you're just gonna be going around in circles with it.
Yeah, bro, I agree. You got to put the rubber to the road. You got to put the pedal, the pedal down at some point. I'm searching for the right little phrase to use for that, but you gotta put it into action, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
You gotta get it going. It's and it's hard, man. I know. It's the same thing for me, and there's an aspect to this that I am. I'm trying to get content up on here on YouTube and trying to get people to help, and I'm trying to build the website for this and all that. And I'm running into the same thing because I'm busy with my day-to-day. So it's like there's not a lot. I have a newborn baby at home. There's not a lot of extra time to get all these things done. It's tough. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, if I could dedicate every day, every hour, I would to this, but it's not the real life. So.
Yeah, no, I know, brother. All right, my friend. Well, I'm super glad you came on here. I am going to cut it short here. Car out of here. It's 6:58. I gotta go get Chipotle. I'm getting me a tofu burrito from Chipotle and taking that home to the wife. So that'll be cool. And super glad to talk with you. I think we should stay in touch, and wouldn't mind having somebody to sidekick this stuff once in a while and jump in here. So if you're up for that, maybe get a headset. You don't need a real expensive one. You can get a wired one or something, and that would be cool.
Is the voice coming through good, or is it kind of sketchy? I mean,
yeah, no, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. The only problem is, the background noise, and then you get a little reverb. Like I hear what's coming through your speakers, so the headset just eliminates those little. But it works perfect. Yeah, it's beautiful. The only upgrades you could make would be get an Ethernet cable involved if you can, and that makes the connection a little better, and then get a headset. And other than that, it's cool, brother. I appreciate you coming on here. And it's awesome. You got an open invite to join me again. We got.
I came in a little late, but I'm pretty bummed about that.
What were you doing? Working or just out and about kicking it, or what?
I was actually at the gym. I didn't have no clue you was gonna get on. Well, I knew you was gonna get on today, but I didn't know what time. So
yeah, I know.
I was just like, cool. And then you messaged me. I was like,
No, it's hard to schedule because I'm not quite sure when I'm going to be in between cars or where I'm going to be at. So it's hard to schedule. I'm trying to figure out a way that I could, like if I say 24 hours in advance, hey, I'll be live, I'll start my live stream at 6 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going to be shooting cars back and forth to the dealership at that time or what. So it's kind of hard to, I got to figure something out with that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll figure it out, brother. All right, my friend. Well, it was good to talk with you, and we'll get in touch again. I'll communicate with you in the group there. Guys, if you're watching, you're welcome to join in with us as well. You can hit the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups. /Tint Academy, or you can see us at learnhowtotintcarwindows.com. You'll be invited there to join in the conversation or ask questions or any of that stuff. So until the next time, I appreciate it. I will talk to you guys later. J-Wise, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night, and we will see you next time.
Later, bro.
Take care. Later.